You probably did see the big press conference from Hunter Biden. Everybody's talking about it, right? But I don't think anybody noticed what I noticed, okay? Hunter Biden, in that scene, was happy. This is exactly what he's always wanted. His dreams came true. Hunter Biden wanted this for his entire life. And I know that because Joe Biden told me so. In Joe Biden's own autobiography, he wrote the following about his son. In the middle of one of our hang-around days, I put the question to him, "So Hunter, what do you want to be when you grow up?" His answer, "I want to be important." Well, Hunter did get his wish. There he is, important, the man of the hour, right? Even looks like a United States senator, a committee chairman in some of these pictures. And I know, actually, from reading his own autobiography, that's kind of what he's all about. Back to the book, though, and this is where I feel a little bit sorry for Hunter. After Hunter says to him, "I want to be important," what does Joe do? Joe does not try to correct him. Joe doesn't say, "Well, it's not about being important. It's about serving people. It's about becoming good at something and making a contribution." You know what Joe Biden's response is? "I knew what he meant. I knew what he meant." That's it. That's the story. I knew what he meant. So Joe becomes important by becoming a senator in a little tiny state, right? Big shortcut. Look at him with all those microphones. He knew what he meant. He's important. Hunter now is important. Maybe he wanted that laptop to be found. Can I see that? Yeah, look at that. That is an important man. I'll give him this. So let's get to what he actually said. There are some very interesting revelations here and almost absurd moments. Let's start.
Good morning. I'm here today to answer at a public hearing any legitimate questions Chairman Comer and the House Oversight Committee may have for me. I'm here today to make sure that the House Committee's illegitimate investigations of my family do not proceed on distortions, manipulated evidence, and lies.
He's gonna determine what's legitimate and illegitimate. Again, the demeanor, like he's a U.S. senator. He's been watching one long enough, huh? Keep going.
But I'm also here today to correct how the MAGA right has portrayed me for their political purposes. I am first and foremost a son, a father, a brother, and a husband from a loving and supportive family.
This made me nauseous, seriously nauseous, because this is not sincere. This is right out of Democrat crisis communications, the handbook that they have. Really, when they're going after somebody, going after a Republican, going after Andrew Cuomo, this is the kind of stuff they said. Andrew Cuomo was actually accused of grabbing that girl's rear end. And they try to make her victim of the year. She wasn't, by the way. Andrew Cuomo did a lot of bad things, but not with this girl. And what did she say when she was going on her media tour?
In the report, you're known as Executive Assistant Number 1.
I am Executive Assistant in the governor's office, but I am also a mother, I am a daughter, I am a friend, I'm a colleague. I am more than Executive Assistant Number 1.
Get you right here, right? Don't fall for it. And don't fall for it when Hunter does it. And then the arrogance comes through, a lot of it.
I'm proud to have earned degrees from Georgetown University and Yale Law School. I'm proud of my legal career and business career. I'm proud of my time serving on a dozen different boards of directors. And I'm proud of my efforts to forge global business relationships.
Yale, President Clinton wrote him a letter to get him into that school. Is he proud of his global business relationships? Well, if he was, why was he always like lurking around in the shadows? When Joe Biden went on a big trip, he got off the front of the plane. Who was already there waiting for him in places like South Korea? Yeah, take a look. Hunter in the back seat of the car. This is not a proud man. This is a man working furtively. This is a man working surreptitiously. Why? I think we have an idea, because this kind of behavior, well, It's unethical and possibly illegal. There he is again. There's Hunter. Hi, Hunter. Recognize him? All right. And was he proud of the China situation about that guy from China? Was he proud of this?
The spy chief of China, who started the company that my partner, who was worth $323 billion, founded, and is now missing. The richest man in the world is missing, who was my partner.
And Hunter is really afraid that the New York Times is going to find out. This man was not proud of what he was doing because he didn't want anybody to know about what he was doing. All right, back to the press conference.
For 6 years, MAGA Republicans, including members of the House committees who are in a closed-door session right now, have impugned my character, invaded my privacy, attacked my wife, my children, my family, and my friends.
The victim card. Hey, lay off MAGA. We just started looking into you a couple of months ago, basically. Look at the United States of America. It's the United States of America that indicted him again after a 5-year investigation. You should be lucky, actually. You're kind of lucky because they've been stringing this along trying to help you. All right, you brought your character up. I didn't. Let's look at his prostitution bill. This is in the indictment. You can add it up. This is how much money he was spending on prostitutes. You brought up your own character. You think people do have a problem with it. People do find it a little bit unseemly when you marry or get it on or hook up with your brother's wife, Haley. Yeah, that happened. And you guys went to the beach, and somehow Joe Biden and his wife, Jill, pretended that they liked this. They did. They put out a public statement saying, we're so happy for Haley and Hunter that they found each other. Wasn't hard. One more.
They've ridiculed my struggle with addiction. They've belittled my recovery. And they have tried to dehumanize me, all to embarrass and damage my father, who has devoted his entire public life to service.
Entire public life to service? Can I see all of Joe Biden's houses, please? Joe Biden's been buying stuff for a long time. I don't think this is a man all about service. Next.
For 6 years, I have been the target of the unrelenting Trump attack machine, shouting, "Where's Hunter?" Well, here's my answer. I am here. Let me state as clearly as I can. My father was not financially involved in my business, not as a practicing lawyer, not as a board member of Burisma, not in my partnership with a Chinese private businessman, not in my investments at home nor abroad, and certainly not as an artist.
Certainly not as an artist. Those crummy paintings are Hunter's and Hunter's alone. May we see? Okay. I never thought for a moment that Joe was involved in creating these paintings. It's who's buying them and for what purpose. That intrigues us, to say the least. And what did he say about his father not being, how did he put it? Let me be as clear as possible. And then he wasn't clear.
Let me state as clearly as I can. My father was not financially involved in my business.
Let me be clear. He chose that phrase to confuse the issue. This is lawyered, all right? Not financially involved. You know, I thought about this. Am I financially involved, say, with my boss, right? I get paid, but I don't think I'm financially involved. That's not a way to put it, right? The paycheck. And I think Joe was just getting paid. We have documentation that Joe was getting paid by Hunter. You know, you can, oh, it's only $1,300 or whatever, but money was going from a Wasco that had all kinds of Chinese funds to Joe Biden. That has been established. We also know that hundreds of thousands of dollars was wired from China, and the beneficiary address of all places was Wilmington, Delaware. Joe's house in Wilmington, Delaware. Well, Hunter was living there at the time. No, he wasn't. He was actually living in California, all right? Next.
And in the depths of my addiction, I was extremely irresponsible with my finances. But to suggest that is grounds for an impeachment inquiry is beyond the absurd.
What's absurd is when Donald Trump dared to raise questions about Joe Biden and what he meant by turning off that investigation, by having that prosecutor fired, by just raising the question, they impeached him, Donald Trump, for asking a question about this very bizarre boast from Joe.
I said, I'm telling you, you're not getting the $1 billion. I said, you're not getting the $1 billion. I'm going to be leaving here. And I think it was, 6 hours? I looked, I said, I'm leaving in 6 hours. If the prosecutor's not fired, you're not getting the money. Oh, son of a bitch. Got fired.
It is so dirty. It is so obvious. Can you imagine how stilted, how warped the system is? Donald Trump sees this on TV, thinks it's weird, which it is, and says to Zelensky, who's president, and the presidents talk to each other, hey, what's up with this? You can do that. You can do that. Next.
There is no evidence to support the allegations that my father was financially involved in my business because it did not happen.
There it is, that financially involved thing. Well, let's go to the WhatsApp messages from the summer of 2017, I believe. I am sitting here with my father, and we would like to understand why the commitment has not been fulfilled, he says to Henry Zhao, who's in China at the time. Tell the director I would like to resolve this now before it gets out of hand, and now means tonight. Next. I will make certain that between the man sitting next to me and I will say that the man, Joe Biden, is just sitting there. He knows how to hold a grudge, and you'll regret not following my direction. Last text. I am sitting here for the call, waiting with my father. Well, is this what he means by not involved? Did Joe fall asleep or something like that? Or Joe, I mean, it's no. This is corruption. This needs to be finally. I'm so glad the impeachment committee is going for it, right? Don't you think? All right, keep going.
James Comer, Jim Jordan, Jason Smith, and their colleagues have distorted the facts by cherry-picking lines from a bank statement, manipulating texts I sent, editing the testimony of my friends and former business partners.
Hey, cherry-picking, manipulating, editing? Jim, who do they think they are? The January 6th committee? That's what they did. That's what they do. Now they're complaining about it. All right, keep going.
There is no fairness or decency in what these Republicans are doing. They have lied over and over about every aspect of my personal and professional life.
Lying about every aspect of one's personal or professional life. You know who that is? You know who that is old man Joe. We could fill books of these, from the truck driver to the shot at in Iraq, to Bo died in Iraq, to graduated from the top of my class. That's what the Bidens do, and that's what they're doing. Keep going. I like this.
No matter how many times it is debunked, they continue to insist that my father's support of Ukraine against Russia is the result of a non-existent bribe.
I got to tell you, I never actually thought about that. I did not think that that was a possible. He put it in my head. Remember that theory. A lot of people want Ukraine to win, but is that why Joe really, really wants Ukraine? He said it, not me. All right, next.
They displayed naked photos of me during an oversight hearing. And they have taken the light of my dad's love, for me, and presented it as darkness. They have no shame.
Next picture, please. Next picture. He's telling Jim Jordan that he has no shame. This man had sex with his dead brother's wife. No shame. Unbelievable. And they call us, what do they call us? Subversives. They call us, fringe extremists. No, that looks pretty extreme to me.